we had a few people who or someone who wrote in that someone close to them is suicidal, has lost hope so much that they are considering suicide. So how would you maybe plant some seeds of hope in that person or help them get out of that kind of loop that they're stuck in?
Oh, yeah. That's a really, the one is a very, I just joke, maybe like, you can suicide, but after holiday, you can suicide. You tell them, and then bring to Tibet and come back. Then they don't want it. They don't have any more that suicide thoughts. I'm joking. You know, suicide may be also a comparison. Sometimes they think I'm the worst in the world, this world, you know. So that's why they thinking like, I just wanted to leave from this world. But if you believe in karma, you believe that you religion believers, then you shouldn't think that way. Because suiciding is like killing life. Killing life is that we have non-virtuous, the 10 non-virtuous. In the 10 non-virtuous, the biggest non-virtuous negative karma is what? Killing life. In the killing life also, biggest is what? Killing human being. Human being also killing yourself is that biggest negative karma. So that negative karma is very heavy. If you believe in Buddhism, you never ever think that way, and they won't think that way. That's suicide. And then if you are non-religion believers, also you don't think that way, because like they thinking I'm really suffering. If I suicide, then that you know, I solve this problem. But you cannot solve the problem. Usually suicidal, they won't successful. So just break legs or break, you know, this and hand or this and that. That worse, more worse, you know. Also, once you suicide, then where you can go? You know, the suicidal negative karma is very heavy. Then you can go into, you know, very worst place. So you're choosing that small suffering and then exchange to the very big problem, very big. It's like if you have very small sufferings, then you're involved in like a gangster. You jump into the gangster, you know, zoom, or you're taking the drugs or whatever, then getting worse. So even you have a very small problem, you just take a coffee and relax. If you cannot do anything or cannot think anything, just come down for a while. Then you can, you know, you can wake up and you came out with some thoughts to can solve the problem. Can solve the problem. So in this world, nothing is there's nothing cannot solve the problems. So everything, all the problems can solve. But Buddha Shakyamuni taught the first his teaching is suffering. So in this world, everything is a suffering. So we have to use to it. We have to use to it. Once used to it, then suffering is no more suffering. Then in a Buddhism way, in this world is a suffering. So that's why you have to have a renunciation mind. Renunciation mind. Renunciation mind means you wanted to, you know, leave from this world, getting out from this world. Getting out from this world means what? You have to be enlightened mind. We have 3 portions or six poisons in our mind consciousness. That's why actually that root of mentally we have these negative thoughts, such kind of suicide, or we have emotion, mentally illness, all because of we have three poison worse than COVID-19. Beginnerless until now, we are struggling in this samsara, and continuously there's no ending. Continuously in this samsara, that's why that Buddha says, that's why Buddha taught Four Noble Truths. He found research and he found that's a way to solve this problem. Then how to solve this problem is suffering. We have to understand about the suffering. So recognize the suffering. Those mentally illness, those people, they recognize the suffering, but they still not yet found out how to solve the suffering. So that's why the depression came out. But we are not yet found the suffering. So we are enjoying, we not yet found the suffering. So they are the upper level, one upper level than us. But why they have a mentally illness? Because they not yet found the suffering, how to solve the suffering. So teach them how to solve the suffering. So they are faster than us. They have a very good renunciation mind, because they don't want it to stay in this world. So that's why they wanted to leave from this world. But then they just take a life. Take a life doesn't mean leave from this world. Stay more and stay worse, stay more terrible in this world. So if wanted to leave from this world, then how? Then the root of samsara have to cut. Root of samsara is what? Greediness and hatred, ignorance. Then jealousy. One more. Then ego. Those are that. Then stinginess. Those are that, the chain, bandage, all the sentient beings in this samsara. So we cannot liberate, we cannot run away from this samsara. So those coming suicide thoughts, they have a thought thinking, they know and they can feel this samsara is a suffering, this life is a suffering, but they still know that who is the troublemaker. Usually we cannot blame other people. Nobody can give you suffering. You take it suffering. Nobody can make you happy. You can make yourself happy. The happiness, they don't have company like iPhone, like Amazon, whatever. They don't have any factories to produce happiness. Happiness comes from within your heart. Then same thing also, suffering also, nobody produce. Nobody make it. Also within comes from your heart. You know that suffering comes from your heart, then you know how to solve the problem. Suffering also comes from your heart, and then happiness also comes from your heart. Then why, how they came from? Because of that, thinking, defined mind, or duality, emotional thoughts make it and produce in your heart. So we wanted to first we want understand about this life is a suffering, because endless. Born, aging, sick, dying. After born, continuously start again. Also born and then start to ABCD study. If work very hard, you study very hard, then you guys, if you study not very good, then like my broken English. Anyway, then you graduate with certificate or graduate without certificate. Then you're trying to get a job or do business, earn money, very suffering, diligently, day and night, earn money, earn money, earn money. Because of your work so hard, overworking, get a sick, and then spend money to maintain or recovering, sometimes good, sometimes bad. Then end of the day, living from this world. And then everything goes back to zero. Savings, zero. Everything's at zero except karma. Then karma bring to next life. And then start again. So like that in this samsara. So don't take too serious. Don't take too serious. So just you need to, how to say, some basic incomes, but then extra, if you have, is okay, very good. If you don't have, also no worth to really, you know, give up everything to earn that. Because no matter how you are rich, you also have to live from this world. We cannot buy that time saying that I wanted to stay 10 years, 10 more years in this world. Nobody selling, and then you cannot buy because there's nobody selling. Everybody wanted to stay longer. I'm just joking. So like that. So just you have to think a simple life, simple thinking, and satisfy what you have. Then extra comes, welcome. If it doesn't come, no, it doesn't matter. I have enough. So just satisfied. That is the happiness in this samsaric happiness. That's is samsaric happiness. Just living moment, enjoy the moment, appreciate the moment. And also appreciate the moment whoever with you and friend or family, just appreciate it. That's all. Nothing is a permanence. Everything is an impermanent. So the stay together, you just appreciate it. Once they leave from this world, saying goodbye, if you are Buddhism practitioner, then do some, chantings, do some those good things and dedicate to them. If not, then you just do it nicely, funeral, everything, then just let them go. You also, it's not only them, you also like that. So you have to do that, and you teach that your friend, families, they have this kind of the problem, then you can teach them.